Hi guys, welcome back. This is the Above Average FPL podcast. My name's Adam, and as always, joined by Baker. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good. Thursday. I feel like the week's gone quite quick.
Yeah, definitely. I just realised I haven't put my microphone in the right place yet. Good start.
It's always a rush for us Thursday nights next. We do the week, and then I don't think we realise how much we rush to get stuff through.
We Zoom called at about 8:25, and I had about 2 slides ready, and there's not really very much. I haven't even sorted out the camera. Look at you. You're off to the side, and my hair's a mess. You said we were doing our hair, and I haven't even done my hair.
Oh, yeah, I am low, aren't I?
You are a bit. Do I need to fix that? Are we good? I think I can probably move you a little bit. There we go.
There we go.
Nah, but you can see the edge of Zoom there. Well.
We do what we can.
Is what it is.
We do what we can.
How's everyone doing? You good?
Yeah, I think so. I think, I said we got a fair bit to think about this week, whereas everyone else, I think loads of people did game week 10 wild card and all that stuff, didn't they? And they're like, yeah, roll in, all nice and easy. Yeah, nothing to think about. Whereas we have been thinking.
Yeah, I've been putting in a few little permutations and basically looking at ripping things up after 1 week of having Watkins and all sorts of fun stuff like that. Just getting rid of expensive players to bring in more expensive players that are not going to do very much. That's kind of my
Trippier.
Yeah, Trippier's he's on the chopping block potentially as well. Trippier, Watkins. Nobody's safe, mate.
Watkins out yet, mate.
Why not?
I suppose.
And Nketiah scored a hat-trick last week. Who's playing Sheffield United this week? Just get Hwang Hee-chan. Job done. What? The game should be that easy, really. Just target Sheffield United. They're terrible.
Well, it is partly that easy. We have got to keep it, but there's more than one terrible team. I mean, this week, I've seen no one talk about free hit this week, but if your team's not that well set up, I think it's not a bad week.
I saw people already talking about what's the permutations of the Carling Cup. Carabao Cup. It hasn't been the Carling Cup.
Carabao Cup. Show our age.
That's the last time we won it, wasn't
it? Yeah. Was it Carling? Mate.
I think it might have been Carling.
I can remember Rumbelows, mate. Like Littlewoods, all that stuff. I'm that old.
Littlewoods and milk and stuff.
Yeah.
So, where do you want to start? Say hello to everyone. Chat. Everyone chat.
Yeah. Say hello.
If you enjoy the stream, as always.
Golf day. Tell everyone about your golf day.
We'll do the golf day first. So, yeah, I didn't actually put the tweet up, which is a bit annoying, but I can find the tweet. Let me find the tweet. Hold on, I'm just doing stuff here. Well, I'll put this on screen first. So, we are going to host an FPL golf day. It's now been decided. It is live on YouTube. It's on the internet. We're going to host an FPL golf day. Jimmy Bullard may or may not be there. He's just good at golf, so he's just up there.
He might be there.
He might. I'll send an email. We'll see how many times it can not be read. But Ange Tubes, Jimmy, if you're watching, I'll drop you a message. Yeah, as everyone knows, like Baker and I love playing golf, and every time I head down south, we look to play golf. He's never come up here, but one day maybe he might come up here and play golf.
It's a long way, mate. It's a long way.
Best golf courses in the country, mate, to be honest. So
it is true.
But as I say, we play every time. We've met up with a few other people and play golf, and we want to do something that footballers love playing golf as well. So the link to register your interest is in the description below. You can also go to my Twitter page or the Twitter page for the podcast, and you'll just find it. It's only like 4 or 5 tweets back. And, just register your interest on there. Important thing to note, obviously, it will be in the UK. It will be the most reasonable location for all the people that we get interested in. And to be honest, it's very much going to be once we've got the course, we'll send the date, and then it'll be kind of like, this is what we're going to do. Can you make it? If you can, great. If you can't, then almost so be it, but without being so harsh and callous like that.
Yeah.
Because if you don't just set a date, set a time, set a course, then, you're going to be going back and forth trying to accommodate everyone. We've had 25 people respond already, so that's good. So it sounds like it's going to be more than just a few lads rocking up for a couple of tea times, which is nice, which means we actually have to organise something properly. But we will figure all that stuff out, and we'll keep mentioning it every so often on here until we get to, I guess, maybe like Christmas time, and then we'll have to not cut it off, but we'll have to obviously start getting it sorted. So yeah, if you, whatever level of golfer you are, if you enjoy playing it, then, you know, pop your email address in the form from the description. It is one of those bit.ly/AAFPL golf day. Simple as that. And you can just register your interest on there. We will not use your email for any other purpose other than this. Promise.
Yes.
Okay. And I haven't got any fixtures to put up, but I have actually, no, I say I haven't got fixtures. We can look at the matchups for this week if you want to start there.
Let's do that.
So the matchups for game week 11. So Rob TFPL, he does some, uses the Sporting Index SpreadX markets to project goals and clean sheet odds. And I mean, very simply, it says that City and Liverpool are going to have a good week. Bournemouth and Luton are going to have a bad week. And most of the numbers are probably where you would expect them to be, I think. I can't see any real major outliers here. Nothing that shocks me.
The interesting one is, you know, obviously the best two clean sheet fixtures straight away are obviously Liverpool and City this week. Mm-hmm. Other than that, doesn't look like a huge amount of cleans. Wolves probably next because they've got Sheffield United. And I'm like, well, no one's got any Wolves defenders.
And then United. Which feels a bit ambitious, but
it feels a bit ambitious away with them in their current predicament. So yeah, but the goals, like 6 goals predicted between Man City and Liverpool, you wouldn't be surprised if it's more than that. You wouldn't be surprised if it's more than that where they end up with. You got to have pieces of the attack, and I think there's a lot of people. So most people that played their wild card last week, so therefore they've got kind of the optimal team to run for this, are only running with Haaland and Salah, will both be over 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
So, you know, most teams, as I said, that are in so-called optimal state won't gain out of these 2 ridiculous fixtures from an attacking perspective.
Yeah.
Unless they've got a second piece of the pie. So your Alvarez, your Darwin,
your Szoboszlai.
But not many. There's not many Szoboszlais out there. There were more Luis Diaz out there, and obviously
feels like an easy shift, no?
Well, Jota
also.
I like Jota. You know, the thing with Jota is a little expensive, but I really fancy him for that. If you offer me Jota against one of the City mids,
Jota's way clear. Jota's way clear. Just everything about him as an FPL asset is clear.
Yeah,
because he plays the front line, right?
Just non-owned at all. Like he's looking good, but the downside of things that we're looking at for this week, say for example, if you are Liverpool, who've got lots of competition for place, we then have a midweek Europe, but that should be okay. We then go into an international break. We then come out of an international break straight into Man City.
Yeah.
And then we have like also 3 games in a week. So, you know, a weekend, midweek weekend coming up. So we do start to run into a bit of this fixture congestion. And I guess with Liverpool, Szoboszlai, we talked about, is pretty nailed. Jota, for example, not so nailed, you know, in terms of minutes you're going to get. Darwin's the one where you still feel like, even if you only get 30 minutes out of Darwin, you still feel like he can bang.
Are we completely throwing Gakpo under the bus here as well? I mean, he scored in midweek, and he's just he's out.
He's not an FPL asset. Not when there's so many good ones.
No, it doesn't have to be an FPL asset to cause issues for your other assets. So does it? No, he just takes minutes away. He's a mid, isn't he, as well?
Yeah.
Did we have this discussion at the start of the season?
He'll take 20, 30 minutes out of somebody every week. That's a potential issue. Harvey Elliott's, potentially eats into minutes, as well for some of these players.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, it's still Darwin and Salah are still the two clear, right? And
yeah.
I mean, we're not looking, even though Liverpool's fixtures are still pretty good, we're not looking at anything defensively. It's so difficult
Tsimikas.
to, apart from Tsimikas.
Still
4.6 now.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't got Tsimikas. You haven't got Tsimikas.
Nah.
But I almost certainly will have Tsimikas as my transfer this week. I just need to work out which defender I lose for it. But Tsimikas, I look at that and just think that's just really hard to miss out on. And some of the fixtures going forward are just way too good to keep missing out on. So I think it's, well, especially when you look at the clean sheet odds for just about everybody else, there's a lot in the 20% chances of clean sheets this week. It ain't great. Tsimikas for me feels like he's still the better option for me than, say, any of the Man City guys, and he's cheaper.
Yeah.
So
yeah, is that where I should be going? Is that where I should be going to make my money?
Well, Trippier to Tsimikas seems like just 2.5 million.
Yeah, it means I could actually do just about
whatever
anything.
you want. Yeah, like it's so much money. So much money. Oh, look, he's thinking. I could see it. Suddenly when he stops talking, he's like, he's thinking.
I'm half.
Are you
thinking,
clicking buttons?
I'm half.
Are you half clicking buttons?
I'm half clicking buttons, yeah, because I'm kind of half trying to get a fixture ticker up as well. So I'm actually half clicking streaming buttons at the same time. But
okay, I mean, Arsenal and Villa both away. Newcastle at home tend to score. Like it's not a great fixture for Arsenal defence.
They've still only got Wilson, right? So Isak's still out.
Just Wilson. Miggy scores, mate. Gordon scores. They score goals. They score goals at home.
Yeah.
I don't know what the number is in terms of when they last didn't score at home, but I bet you it's I bet you it's a fair
Can't say stuff like that because the first thing I have to do now is I have to look it up. Like when was the last?
I think you just don't need to prove it wrong in this, mate. Newcastle away is literally the worst fixture in the league. Like it's the worst fixture. They've got the best XG in the league.
Yeah,
Newcastle, and they're markedly better at home than they are away. You're over the moon if you own a defender and you walk away with 1 point from a visit to St James's Park. Like,
yeah, they've scored at home every game this season. Last one was last home game of last season against Leicester, which was a non-event. So
non-event,
it's fine.
They just shit goals at home. Yeah. Other than that, I don't know where you'd necessarily focus your transfers unless you can easily get to Darwin. But like for you, we talked about it. Like your options are Watkins.
Yeah, Watkins away to Forest, or obviously Trippier at home to Newcastle are probably my two ways in. Well, I mean, obviously I'd have to get rid of Watkins to get to Nunes. I mean, I could do trips down to Tsimikas and then Alvarez would go to Nunes quite easily. But I'm not transferring. There's no way I'm transferring out a City attacker unless we get information and told that he's not playing.
Unless we get information. And that's what we have to wait for. And that's why I do think this is a week where, unfortunately, and it's really harsh for people that don't live in this country and have different time zones and the like, but this feels like an important Saturday morning.
Yeah.
To me, this feels like a really important Saturday morning because you've got, and it's mad because it's only important for City. Nothing else really matters. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm likely to go into this game week. Well, I will go into this game week with triple Tottenham, play Monday night. Double Liverpool, So that's 5 players. Triple Villa, that's 8 players. And so, you know, I've only got 3 players playing on Saturday. My keeper, who cares? No one needs team news for a keeper. Haaland's going to be the captain for just about everybody, so no one cares about that. So my only person I'm trying to get a view on is a Dingra, who I'm playing away to Everton. We don't tend to get leaks. We don't tend to get leaks on a Saturday morning. They're going to tell us about that. So the only thing that's of relevance to anybody here is, do they get any news on Alvarez? Look, I don't own Alvarez, so let me start the bias on Alvarez. Man City have got Bournemouth at home this week. They've then got Young Boys at home in midweek.
Yeah.
Like, these are 2 games they should win comfortably.
Yep. Agreed.
Not even a doubt. They're then away to Chelsea next weekend.
Yep.
Pep respects Pochettino, mate. Like, that's their tougher game. And that game becomes even tougher if Chelsea win on Monday night. We very much hope they don't, but if it does, it becomes even more tough for them. It wouldn't surprise me at all if he gave Haaland one of the games and he gave Alvarez one of the games at 9. There is, you're not going to say edit because you've got both of those players, but there is a way that happens.
Is there any precedent for it other than the European game? Was it the European game?
It's I don't think
where he rested Alvarez and played Grealish and Doku together. He brought Alvarez on in like the 70th minute.
Last game he didn't play Alvarez, did he, in the European game?
No. I mean, against Young Boys, funnily enough. Maybe he thinks he does need them in midweek. I mean, they've just had a week off, obviously. They were obviously not playing in the week, so
Haaland's more important in Europe in away games than he is in a home game against Young Boys. Like, they can put old Oscar Bob up top if they want against Young Boys, they'd still win.
Yeah.
But I don't suspect that they would need Alvarez at home to Bournemouth this weekend to win. You can play Foden with never to Haaland.
I don't think you need Haaland either. I mean, I just can't. We've said it before though. We've said Pep is a rhythm guy. So if Tottenham do win, I mean, he's going to need 3 points this weekend, and he's going to need to keep momentum for next weekend.
But they will keep momentum against Bournemouth, mate. Like, it doesn't matter what it happens, they will beat Bournemouth this weekend.
Yeah, as a team, as a squad, as a club, whatever you want to call it. But
yeah,
I'm just trying to convince myself that Alvarez is going to start.
Oh, I'm not saying he won't start, but I'm saying it should be in your brain that he might not.
Isn't this the same that every time one of these big teams comes and plays a smaller team when they're playing in Europe, we do have to consider it?
Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is, if your brain goes, I haven't even got to think about that, so I can go make transfers today, I can go make transfers tomorrow, then I'm saying that you're taking a risk there. Whereas actually, there is a chance it can happen, and there's an even better chance that someone more educated than us, Luke, will give us an idea of whether he'll play Saturday morning. And I think if you own Alvarez, you need to be paying attention to that Saturday morning, and you need a plan.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Yeah.
Because
I will have a plan.
This is the golden fixture for Alvarez. Like, if he don't play this one, you're then moving into worse fixtures. They're still City, but they're worse fixtures. And not many of us have got a lot on the bench. Not really. Most people have got a 4.0 defender.
Yeah.
That's not good for anybody, this week. And you've got an Archer, or you've got Marvelous Nakamba and the likes. I'm just saying is that I think there is a chance that if you own City assets this week, you're gonna find out whether they play or not.
Yeah.
And you need to have that plan for it.
Yeah. No, I'll have a transfer for all three. Oh, well, if I say for all three, what happens if Haaland's benched?
Exactly.
I mean, you just switch the captaincy to Salah and then you just try and upgrade a bench person, I guess. And you try and get a bench person playing.
There's every chance exactly what I just said happens the opposite. And they go, I'll play Alvarez at 9, and then suddenly he's the best player in the entire. Alvarez might be the captain, mate. If fucking Alvarez, if Haaland gets the league, he's not there.
That's true.
Like Alvarez is either the best player in the game this weekend, or he's potentially a complete dud, and you've got a bad bench coming on for him.
Well, I wouldn't say a bad bench. I've got Cole Palmer. Is that a bad bench?
Not a bad bench.
It's a bad bench when it's Tottenham.
Yeah. So like I say, don't take my gospel that's there, but like we should be playing it through our brain. Look, exactly what you said. Before Europe, we need to worry about this.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. But you've just mentioned captaincy there. We've talked about obviously Haaland's obvious choice. It just feels so blatantly obvious. It's crazy, but somebody put out some interesting information to us last week. And if anybody's seen this from FPL Meerkat. So this is Luton, and this is a shot map. Well, in fact, this is a goal map. This is a goal map. So what you can see here, all the blue dots are goals scored by strikers. All the red dots are all goals scored by right wingers. And there's a couple of centre-backs there as well that have scored from corners or whatever. But they've conceded 20 goals, and absolutely all of them, apart from one, which I think is just one, was scored right of the penalty spot, on the right-hand side of the penalty spot. And the one that was scored left of the penalty spot was scored left by what looks like about 3 inches.
Yeah.
Or 30 centimetres, whatever system you use. Basically, Luton's left side is terrible, and they concede a lot of goals from their left-hand side.
And I saw this on, I think, was it Monday, Tuesday, and I messaged you and I was like, boy, we just talked about Szoboszlai and talked about Salah and you know, in my brain, there's a little bit that still says Salah does get extra points, and I do see him keeping a clean sheet. Maybe he is the better captain choice this weekend. But I looked at this and I was like, this is good Mo propaganda. This is good Szoboszlai propaganda. I can't remember what I was listening to. I genuinely can't. So I apologize if it's another FPL podcast, but I think it was a football one rather than a FPL one. But they were talking about Darwin and talking about how he likes that shot across his body from the right. And obviously the Jota goal last week was him shooting that one that comes over his right side. We've seen it. The Newcastle goals were similar in that area. So I went literally just before we started. So I just go and check like Darwin's shot map.
So we've done that. The guys. We've done that. Let's overlay this. So this is going to be Darwin's shot map overlaid onto this. This is from Fantasy Football Scout, and his shots are basically where they concede all the goals.
Yeah,
this is like where his shots are,
and the red dots are the higher concentration of his shots.
Yeah, and anytime you can see the pitch like in its original color, it's just odd shots that he's taken. So outside the box on the left hand side, he's had a few pot shots, but most of the, as you said, the concentration of his shots have come, essentially 2, 3, 4 yards right of that penalty spot is where he's shooting from primarily. A few closer, absolutely.
And
yeah.
Sam Tigg from Tifo did a video this week, earlier this week, on Salah, and talked about that his shots are slight. We always think of Salah as that right hand side, but it is deeper than he's ever been. His average shot is 18 yards away from goal currently.
Yeah, but that is,
isn't that a little bit?
Isn't that because he keeps getting gifted ones? Like, he'll say average shot is 18 yards away. He was 25 yards away against Forest because Matt Turner ran out and did a full Michael Dawson on it.
This sounds like a bit of Watkins captain, but we should carry on.
Carry on.
But like Darwin is playing slightly in front of Salah on this right hand side currently. I mean, like, is Darwin the captain option?
No,
Like, genuinely.
no. I mean, no. Just because again, we just can't guarantee that he's going to start because Jota can start in there. Gakpo can start in there as well.
We've always talked about with Darwin, like at some point he's going to score 4 goals. Like, if it was ever the game, it's this one.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
As it possibly could be. But Haaland's home to Bournemouth. But the idea of not owning Darwin this weekend,
yeah, it feels like a problem. No, I get that.
So, that Alvarez thing earlier, would I hit Alvarez out? Because if you haven't got the money in the bank, you've got to find the money from somewhere else. So would I hit someone to get Darwin in for Alvarez if I found out the Alvarez was bench? Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. Because this is gold. We don't get this many good matchups, and this is a big one.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'm just looking. I am clicking buttons now, and I can get Darwin in. I can get Darwin in for Alvarez and Soboslai in for Ward-Prowse, and sell Trippier for a 5.4 million defender. I've got loads of money. It's 8 points, but I've got loads of money and loads of fun. I can go with whatever probably.
You are looking at all the sexy. I enjoy it.
Yeah, whatever long-term defender that I want that will probably be used to upgrade Doku. So I probably want to go pretty cheap. I mean, I can't go Tsimikas. I'm now tripled up on Liverpool, so I can't go to Tsimikas. What a shame.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I can get there, and I've got no issues in taking a -8 when the fixture is Luton away. Maybe I do need to pick a Wolves defender like a Max Kilman or something like that. Maybe
they're all playable this week. Dawson, you've had a Dawson's Thunderbolt before.
Oh yeah, we do love a Craig Dawson Thunderbastard. We do love it. Do love a good 15-pointer from Dawson. So yeah, and just to sort of double down on this information that we're sharing here. If anybody hasn't seen the tweet from Alon from FML FPL, obviously he's a big Liverpool fan. So just some data. I'm guessing he got this stuff. He normally scrapes FB Ref for this data, so I'm assuming that's where it comes from. But obviously Liverpool have had a lot of players sent off this season so far. So he thought he'd go and check the numbers per 90 for Liverpool and looking at it for 11 versus 11 as well. So for those that are watching, you can see it, but for those listening, the non-pen XG per 90 for Liverpool is 1.92, and their non-penalty XG against is 1.23. But when you go 11v11 only during that period of time, their 11v11 is 2.26, and against is 1.06. Now, I don't know whether this includes the game states where those things happen, or whether he's just taken the games in which they've lost players. I assume he's just done it that way. So if they've lost players at any point in the game, it's considered as a disadvantage. But with a disadvantage, they go to 0.84 and 2.43 against per 90. So they've been down a man for 17% of the season. So it definitely moves the needle.
It does. It's all small samples. Then when you start saying, hey, I'm going to quote what the XGs and stuff is when I've had a man sent off, like you are then making like very, very small samples that you're going to do stuff for. So
yeah, but it does lead to game state. It leans towards game state, right?
Yeah.
But then you cannot predict that, right? It's not red cards are not a predictable item.
No, they're not. I would say on FML, I listened to them this week, and look, he's high. He is high on Liverpool. But I think similar to us on Tottenham, right?
Yeah.
It's not been good being a Tottenham fan for years. Like now, it's been like a few years of misery. So that does make us slightly more optimistic. Like Liverpool were used to challenging for the title. They haven't been challenging for the title. They are challenging for the title now. They are I do think we have to put a little bit on that beware of fans, as it were, and so forth. Is I get it, but they're functioning. You can't argue it. We talked about it a lot on the weekend. Szoboszlai is like He's so much better than any centre midfielder they've had for a very, 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 very long. Well, he's probably going to be their best playmaking midfielder than like Gerrard.
Yeah, probably
that kind of level.
Yeah, he is. He is ridiculously good. He was always smooth. He is like a Rolls Royce in there. If you want to pull up an old pundit term, he always looked that way in Germany as well.
Yeah, it's just good. It's just very, very good. So yeah, like I can't really get a piece of the attack. So Tsimikas, but I don't feel comfortable not having, at least I don't feel comfortable just going into the games with Salah at the moment. So Tsimikas for me is coming in.
Should we look at your team then?
Yeah, I'm relatively simple-ish.
Yeah.
My decisions aren't about necessarily this week. My decisions are about going forward. I do think we're starting to see a little bit more potential rotation, and we will see more rotation come the return after the international break. And so my plan originally was to do Share to Tsimikas, gives me like 0.9 in the bank, which means if I want Saka next week, I could do Maddison to Saka. Mm-hmm. That was almost my easy, simple moves that I could easily do. There's the issues that have come about this week is that Botman now, like, I mean, you just can't trust Eddie Howe. He says that he's progressing, and now he's had a setback. But you're like, immediately you see all the Twitter jokes saying, like, is he going to start on the weekend?
Yeah.
And you just never know what to trust for him. So,
are you thinking about going no Newcastle defence?
No. I'm just thinking I'm going to go Botman to Tsimikas.
Oh, okay, I see.
And bench Share.
But does that get you to? Can you still get to Saka?
Nah.
Yeah.
So the issue with that is that I can't then in one move go Maddison to Saka next week. Yeah. But
are you more open to moving like? So out of the ones above though, like the Share and Porro, which one would you rather keep out of those two? Because I assume you're just going to keep Cash.
Yeah, I'm going to keep Cash for now. I mean, I don't particularly like clean sheets for most defenders at the moment, so I at least want the ones that I think have a chance of returning. I think Porro and Cash have a chance of returning. Share, obviously, he likes to dive in the box, so he'll get the odd penalty. But I don't know. I'm assuming Share would be the one that would be first out of those three. But there's still a good defence. They've got Bournemouth next week. Would I back him against an attacking return at Bournemouth next week? I would
He doesn't do Share.
Yeah.
Doesn't do much away from home though. All his returns are
he just got a return last week and then missed a header 4 yards out that you sent me abusive messages about. Against
he actually scores at home.
Yeah. But like he was plenty involved last week. I've got no issue with rolling Share out against Bournemouth next weekend if I wanted to. So yeah, he's there. And obviously Adingra's not ideal to roll out every week, is he? He's not
we still don't know. We still really don't. We're not getting the same Brighton that we had last season. And even like at the start of the season, we're not getting the same Brighton. And it all just feels a bit disjointed because of the European issues that they're having. Like that schedule's killing them, right? And I think the sooner they either sort their shit out or get out of that competition, the better for them.
But my problem in this squad is He's my problem.
Oh yeah.
There. So moving my problem of Tsimikas in means I've then got a good first bench, no matter who it is, and I'm in a decent position. And I've got Maddison away to Wolves that no longer have Neto next week. And I'm relatively happy with that. I'd then roll in 12 and go into it in 13. What it means though is that I'm going Arsenal-less again. Like I've got away with it effectively against Sheffield United. The chances of me getting away with it again against Burnley, it just feels ridiculous.
You and me both.
Feels ridiculous. So that's the decision for me is where it is. But I think I will do Botman to Simicast is where I'm starting to lean towards. And if I desperately need Saka next week, it's hit time. I like hits.
Hits are fun.
done a hit 3 out of the last 4 weeks. And I think I've had 3 green arrows, hitting. So as long as your team's in a good space, you can take them. They're just not ideal.
Yeah. So just as a final one, read out for people that are listening rather than watching.
Yeah. So I'm currently playing Flecken over Areola he got 2 keepers and I've got them playing each other. So I'm currently
Take the home one.
You pick the home one, but I know who's the better keeper, and it's the one on my bench. But I'll pick the home one, Flecken, over Areola. Then I've got Cash, likely Simicast. Well, will be Simicast, and Porro will be my back 3. Diaby, Maddison, Adingra, Son, Salah, and then Watkins and Haaland cap up top.
Cool.
That's me.
Nice.
Now you're more fun.
I'm more fun. Yeah, so just from I've got 1 free transfer, nothing in the bank. So if I do want to move anything, I really kind of need to make moves. I need to make things happen. Areola in goal because I've got Strakosha on the bench. I might just play him just for banter. Because he'd probably be the better keeper over the 2 anyway, home keeper. I've got at the moment I've got Trippier on my bench, and the reason for that is just so that I can feel comfortable with selling him and actually upgrading him. I don't think that Trippier is a worse asset than Share. Don't be stupid. But at the moment, I've got Share, Cash, and Joaquin Anderson. At the back, I've got Doku, Ward-Prowse, Maddison, Salah, Alvarez, Watkins, Haaland, Palmer, and Kabore on the bench as well. So, yeah, I've toyed with a number of things because I really don't like. It's not that I don't like having double Newcastle defence. Their fixtures are now sort of getting worse. It's weird because they've got this Bournemouth fixture like the City guys have, just sitting there in the middle of all this pile of crap. But until like game week 17, I mean, even in game week 17, there's problems because they have Liverpool, City, and Villa in 3 games weeks like just after that. So keeping them long term is difficult. I think getting on to just 1 now is fine. And I would keep Trips if I could, but Share is cheaper. So I've got Doku, who I don't love just because, again, I thought he was doing well on the left-hand side. His underlying numbers were really, really good. And then Pep benches him. So, fine, you expect
You like him if he plays. It's just minutes.
Yeah, exactly. You like him if he plays. That's fine. Obviously, with Grealish's injury or whatever he had earlier on in the season, it was a lot easier to predict that. They were more difficult now. Ward-Prowse, it's just been a pain. He has to leave my team as soon as possible. And, I've obviously got a lot of money up front, which isn't necessarily a problem because I've got Palmer as my 5th midfielder, which I've got no issues because he's kind of there to start playing in game week 16. But there's just too much fun to be had elsewhere. So, City leak depending, Alvarez could become Darwin, but then like Trips could become anyone, as I've said, and then, Ward-Prowse becomes Szoboszlai, and then it's like, whoa, this looks nice. Like, it looks unbelievably good for a week or 2, at least. And then I can move off of City. I can move off of Doku next week or something like that, and then upgrade that position. That will leave still some money in the bank as well. So, like, as terrible as it sounds, next week Maddison could become Saka as well, in theory. So that's one that I did kind of half. One that I can do. one that I can do is I could do. So I had this one briefly on my screen, and I don't know whether you can see that. You can't see that. It's blurry as hell. But it's Watkins and Maddison out to Darwin and Bruno.
No, mate, you can't be going on Bruno.
Mate, those fixtures are ridiculous.
They are there, but right.
It has to change.
Ward-Prowse and Doku have to. You can't. You're not going to have them through 14, 15, 16 when there's 3 games. Ward-Prowse, obviously will play, but even him's getting sub now. But you're not going to carry Doku through those games unless you rotate him with Palmer. Unless you just say I'll play one or the other through that way. Trippier, it's quite clever actually. By putting him on the bench, you then look at it and say,
well, yeah, because I literally just do this on the screen. I go, well, actually, it looks okay, and like that team looks fine to me,
apart from James Ward-Prowse.
Apart from James Ward-Prowse, and then you go, okay, cool. Then I just change that one. And now, how do I change him? Oh, I change the guy that I've got 6.8 million on the bench that I can change for 4.5 or whatever.
So Trippier to Tsimikas is like the easiest transfer in the world.
Well, Trippier to Tsimikas, Ward-Prowse to Szoboszlai gives me 3 Liverpool, gives me everything. Just gives me no Darwin.
But you would block yourself out of Darwin. That's the only downside in it. Would you have enough money?
Oh, here we go. Hold on. Let me get the screen ready.
This is us working through it. If you did Trippier to Tsimikas, would you have enough money to do Ward-Prowse to Szoboszlai this week?
Yeah. Yes.
And Doku to Martinelli the week after?
Yes, I should do.
I reckon you do.
I reckon I'm well clear of that actually. Martinelli 7.7. Oh, I'm not well clear of that. I have 0.1 in the bank.
Ooh, tasty.
So I can get so I could do. So it would look something like. Let's see if I can do this. Hold on.
But that it doesn't have to be Saka. It could be Martinelli for Doku.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that I like.
It's true.
And if you brought in Tsimikas for Trippier, would you bench Share too this week?
Yes. Yeah. Well, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
And then your bench is strong as hell because you've got like Share and Palmer on your bench. So
yeah. I don't know. I mean,
this game week
again, I'm over. It's a lot of commitment into Liverpool.
And if we get the leak that Doku doesn't start, this is another reason. So you could wait. Is that you could do Doku to Szoboszlai this week?
Yeah, that's just easy.
Couldn't you? And then you've still got the option to do Mr. Ward-Prowse to Martinelli next week.
Yeah. I mean, I could get that. I'm not oversold on Martinelli, but yeah,
it's an option next week.
It's an option.
We will see. A good option next week.
We will see. Anyone got any other questions they want to ask before we wrap it up? We've done like 45 minutes. I apologise. About 5-10 minutes ago, if you had a massive crash, that was my light falling over.
I didn't hear it
because it was about to run out of battery. I tried to plug it in, and then I must have pulled something, and it just collapsed.
Yeah, I didn't hear it.
It's probably better actually because I've probably got a more natural skin colour now. It's like bright light in my face, but that's fine. I haven't really been watching the chat a lot. Sorry. But Trippier on bench, yes, we've explained that one. Szoboszlai, hell of a differential.
Who's on pens for Wolves?
Hwang.
I don't know that anymore. You'd think Hwang.
Hee-chan's probably. Probably on pens.
So just get rid of Doku for the love of God. You can't get rid of him if he starts home to Bournemouth. You definitely can't get rid of him if he starts that game.
Yeah.
There's a few questions around the playing Share of Trippier.
I mean that's purely visual. Like if Trippier doesn't leave my squad, he goes into the team over Share.
Yeah.
That's
100%.
Yeah,
100%. How many goals for Darwin this week?
7.
Was said 7.
No interest in Nketiah. No interest in Nketiah.
I don't have no interest in Nketiah.
Prime fixture's gone. We've missed it. That's not to say that he won't score again in the next 4 weeks. But if you wanted to gain something properly, you've missed it, in my opinion.
I don't know 100% on that one, but I think that narrative will change a lot. If he has a good game against Newcastle, I think that narrative will change a lot for that home game.
Yeah, but it's not for this week. Like, you're not making that move. You're not making that move this week. Yeah. Okay, fine. If you want to do it next week, okay, you will get 3 games, maybe Luton as well.
Yeah, I mean, you in your position, like, it could be another -4 next week, and you could do Alvarez to Nketiah, gives you an extra 1.5 million, and then Doku goes straight to Saka.
Yeah, could just go full hand.
That's good moves.
Would you play Palmer or Nketiah this week?
God, they're really testing us. Palmer against
Tottenham,
or
an Arsenal
an Arsenal striker.
I'd rather spin the wheel.
I'd play Nketiah, mate, because he's up against Jamal Lascelles.
And he's just scored 3 goals.
Yeah.
Yep, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else. Anything else you want to add?
No, we're good. We've got one last play. Leno over Areola. Leno home to Man United, or Areola at Brentford.
Leno is a better keeper. He's actually a better keeper.
Mate, I re-saw a Dingra chance last week that Leno saved. It was unbelievable. Like to take it away from him, he done me. Fully done me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Leno's a really good keeper.
Yeah.
There's a question. There was one that I've just gone away from it. Get Johnston or either Gahey or Anderson. Don't want to double up on Palace defence. So hold on. Should I get Johnston or either Gahey or Anderson? Do you have one Palace defender already, Linus? I can't quite work out. I mean, I've got Anderson. Very comfortable playing him for the next 5 weeks, basically. Really comfortable playing for the next 5 weeks. No issues.
Yeah, but you paid a lot less for him. I wouldn't be spending over 5 million on Anderson now. He's expensive. Yeah, he's expensive.
Ooh, tasty.
I saw
4.6. I must have got him in at.
Yeah, I saw a video of that, and Harry did one, and he kept saying he was 4.8, and I was like, if he was, mate, we'd all be looking at him, but he's now just a little bit expensive.
Just 5. Yeah, you do forget that when players do go up.
Yeah.
Looking at some others now, I'm just thinking like Alvarez, obviously 7.2. Watkins is 8.4. Salah's 12.8. Yeah.
Estupiñán, someone asked about bringing him. If you've got the green light, I wouldn't bring Estupiñán in before the international break. I'd really like to try and see how that goes. I know the fixtures are fantastic, but so risky.
Play Castagna or sell him for Dawson.
God.
These are the best. These are the best. These are fine though, because like everyone's saying the same thing about the get Darwin, cap Haaland, all this stuff. These are the big questions. Play Castagna or sell him for Dawson. I love that. I would probably play Castagna, but Dawson for a 1 week punt, like Sheffield United, Tottenham next week though. So
I just think of it of like you've almost got a free clean sheet on Castagna that week, because the chance this week, if you do it, because if you gain a transfer on Castagna, just think of it like that's an extra 4 points. Just think of it that way. And then when he gets 1 point.
Is that what review values a transfer at? 4 points?
Well, it's a hit, isn't it? It's just something that's there, because neither of them are good long-term assets, really, Castagna or Dawson. Like, I'd just be like, yeah.
You've got 4 home games in 6 between 13 and 18 for Fulham.
Well,
so you could probably just keep him. Just keep him there, yeah.
Just keep him.
Booner's in the chat. Booner's in India at the moment.
He's in Mumbai, isn't he?
Yeah.
What's he doing?
Oh, mate, he's out. He's on it. He's out.
Enjoy it,
loving
mate.
it.
Enjoy it.
Or didn't he get? No, he's gone to Dubai. I think actually. I think he got a flight to Dubai.
Yes. What a boy! He lives the life.
Yeah,
he lives the life.
Anderson or Gahey? I think given the choice now, Gahey because of the price.
Gahey, 100%.
But yeah,
100%.
Cool. Right. Before, how many people are here? I always like to know.
252.
Cool. Well, 252. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Go check out the golf day. Come and join us. If we get enough people, we might not even get to play.
No, we'll play, mate.
Okay,
go check out Booner's food pics. Always a joy.
Yeah, go and check out his food pics. Weird, that Pav Baji that he was asking the boys about. Not kidding you. 3 hours before that, I was on Facebook and I flicked and I just saw a reel of some guy making it. It's incredible in the street. Oh, it was amazing. And then Booner just brings it up on Twitter like he's actually just reading my mind. But
he sees all, Booner, mate. He sees all.
He sees everything. He is everyone. On that note,
see you
later. Good luck for Game Week 11, mate. Have a good one. Mate. Like, comment, subscribe. Golf day. See you later.